The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, you mean you want me to walk all the way out there and talk to the sword fighter lady again? I suppose I could do that for you. I'll be right back.
Shall we play a game?
Player to another.
Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new player.
Ooh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast with a frustrating amount of setup beforehand. Now that we're recording separately, we're recording in different locations to hopefully not get each other sick, just in case one of us happens to catch La Corona.
The big Rona.
Yeah, that big bootied Rona. It's ravaging the world. So we're all separate, but we
Separate but equal.
Separate but comparable. Separate but comparable, we'll say. And we all have the same mic, pretty much, and so it should sound better than the Skype calls the last few weeks. But just kind of bear with us while we're fighting through this. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll be able to come together and record as a group again, because I think it's better that way. It just feels more natural, at least. But you know what? Fuck it. There's not really anything we can do about it. So this week, we are going to be reviewing The Secret of Monkey Island. We were given this game years and years ago. I don't even remember who gave it to us. They just gave us like $10 on PayPal and were like, hey, just buy this game and play this game. And we never did. And then now I spent $15 on it. I spent $15 on the first two games, I'm pretty sure, on PlayStation 3, a remastered version of the game. So, that's how I went about it. I feel like we've definitely lost money on it, but we did vow to play all the games that we were gifted, even though this is a weirdly roundabout gift. It was time. And we had enough time to knock it out. So I'm excited to get into that. Craig and I were the ones that played this, by the way. I think that's who they wanted to play it in the beginning, from what I remember as well.
Yeah.
It was just me and you.
It was for you and I.
Yeah. So, worked out really perfectly. I mean, sorry it's, multiple years late, but hey, here it is, and I'm stoked to get into that with my good man Craig over there. But before any of us start talking about this fucking Monkey Island and the secret thereof,
before any of us get into this monkey business.
Yeah, this monkeying around. What have you guys been playing this week? Craig, what's been going on?
I played some fucking Monkey Island, obviously.
Some fucking Monkey Island. That sounds like a gross version of this game.
Wait, what? Fucking Monkey Island? Well, I mean, there's a 3-headed monkey, so I mean, I could get a rim job, a blow job, and some other stuff at the same time.
And one of them just fucking going to town on your balls.
I was gonna say, one ball dedicated.
Yeah.
How would you arrange your
orgy with the 3-headed monkey and then the cannibal guys? Because those guys are obviously not hetero.
Yeah. Very clear, yeah. And at least in this version of the game, this might be a J.K. Rowling situation where they were
a J.K. Rowling rewrite after the fact.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the cannibals all suck dick. But just in case you were wondering,
just in case, yeah, you needed that information. That's what was in my mind.
It's like, I wasn't really thinking about that when I was playing the fucking Click Adventure in 1990, but hey, thanks. Glad to clear that up finally. I just lost so many hours of sleep over it. But all right, so Secret of Monkey Island.
Okay,
Obviously.
So Monkey Island, I started playing some Star Ocean First Departure, which is like a remaster of Star Ocean 1.
How's that? I mean, how are those games?
It's pretty sweet. I'm digging it a lot right now. It's like an action RPG that was like on the Super Nintendo. But I think the version that I'm playing, which I'm playing on Switch, is like a remastered version of the remake that they had for PlayStation, the PSP.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm playing that. And then I just got that fucking Animal Crossing, so I started playing that last night and a little bit this morning.
Yeah, and you guys seem to be having fun with that thing, so that's good.
Yeah, and that I think that's everything that I've played.
All right, sweet. What about you, Zach? What have you been up to this week? What's going on?
I played some Blasphemous again, trying to work my way through that. Resident Evil 3, just been a lot of fun. Let's see what else. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Started that last night. And, Animal Crossing. So it's been...
Nice. Cool. What about you, Cameron?
I played maybe like a couple of rounds of Warzone Call of Duty. And then other than that, I've really only played Animal Crossing. I did play like 30 minutes of Cuphead. And I did just barely reinstall and started looking at Darkest Dungeon. So we'll see how that goes.
You're looking at it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I was looking at Conan Exiles, too. I just looked at it. I didn't actually touch it.
I did
one
touch
of those...
Darkest Dungeon. I did give it a little fingering just to see if I wanted to dip my toes back in it.
Yeah. I was gonna say Conan is like an underaged woman. You're just like,
Jesus.
No. You can look, but you can't touch. Yeah, that joke gets more and more nasty the older we get. I don't even know if it's funny anymore.
I think it's been nasty as long as it's been a joke.
Of course, it's been nasty the whole time, but it just gets greasier and greasier. It's like unwashed. It's like an unwashed mane. But yeah, I don't know. I was talking to somebody about it too at work. And we were talking about like Ark and Conan and stuff, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to get back into that." And you guys still need to beat it. So
I was hoping that was the direction it was going after that comment.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe we can get Zach in on it. I mean, Zach.
Yeah, he's never played it.
Oh, fine. I'll download it.
Yeah, see, there we go. It's going to happen. So, guys, next week on Conan Cast.
Now sound again.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Here we go again. Oh shit. All right, sweet. I did not play Animal Crossing. Everyone's asking me to pick it up though, which I might. I don't know.
Who's been asking you to pick it up?
Well, you guys have. Two of you have asked, and you were busy doing something. And a lot of people at work have talked about it too, like saying that it's really good. So
it's definitely more of it's not an intense game in any way unless you do a Tarantula Island. Other than that, it's like Conan but without the violence.
Yeah.
It's one of those like super casual games you play to relax, kind of like Flower was.
Yeah, just like you pop it in for like an hour or whatever, and just check on everything, gather some shit up, make some new shit, make sure you're paying on your debt.
Dailies and then fishing mini games.
Yeah.
Get into serious debt with the local island raccoon.
I feel dumb because I talk so much shit on that game. Like, I talk so much shit, and I was making fun of so many people, and it's actually really fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like an asshole.
It happens so often, you just make fun of something, and then when you finally try it, it's like, yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, because I was wrong. Yeah, I'll admit it. I was wrong. I got bullied into buying it, so whatever.
Bullied? Please.
Y'all told me to do it. Y'all just kept bugging me and telling me to join your cult, and I did. I'm ready for the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So I played a bunch of Secret of Mana this week. I played a lot of that game. It's
How's
pretty
that?
good. I think it's pretty good, dude. It's definitely better than Final Fantasy Adventure. Spoilers for that, but I enjoyed the game, so I'm excited to do a review on that thing. And I also played a bunch of Resident Evil 3 Resistance. I'm really digging that. I wish you guys would have gotten on with me yesterday, man. I was loving it. I was having a grand old time.
Do you think I would like the multiplayer for that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you would. I don't know if you would like it as much as I do, but
I haven't even seen what it looks like. I have no idea. Is it anything like the original?
No. I mean, it's kind of its own thing. I don't know. It's not really like Resident Evil 2 at all. There's the puzzle aspect is there, but it's like an arcade thing almost, where you have 4 people playing as the survivors and 1 person playing as the mastermind who's trying to kill them off with like all these random tools and like zombies, and you get to spawn dudes. I've had a lot of fun like making like face rape rooms. So like there'll be a key in a certain room that's really small, and I won't spawn zombies anywhere on the map except for in that one room, and someone will open up the fucking room and they'll just get like jumped by everything. And there was one that we did where it was Kent. I was playing the demo at his house Monday night, and he fucking like the guy comes in the room, steps on a trap, gets stuck in the trap, gets mauled by the dogs. He like locks the door and turns the light off on the person, and then the person like finally breaks the door down, and on the other side there's like a mine, and so it blows him up, and then he just dies. And then like all of the horde gets out into the hallway and starts killing everybody else too. And so there's a lot of fun things that you can do with it. There's a lot of customization. You get like a deck as the mastermind. It's almost like a card building game where you unlock certain ones as you go along, and you can kind of change them within your deck, and then you get whatever cards come up. As long as you have enough energy to use them, you can just start planting shit all around the building. And then you get your super, which is like one of the big boss guys from the series, and you just get to like go around and wail on people with that. So I really like playing as the mastermind. The only downside is the multiplayer right now, the way it's set up is you can either go in solo for mastermind or survivor, or you can do teams with just survivors and then find a random mastermind, or you could do a custom match, but you don't get as much XP. So I haven't had enough.
Dead by Daylight, then.
It's just like Dead by Daylight, yeah. In a lot of ways, you still get experience for the game playing custom matches. It's just significantly reduced. So you still will get unlocks and stuff, and so I think we could totally play it still. But I just want to get enough people together to actually do a real game of that, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I played a good amount of that yesterday. And also The Secret of Monkey Island, obviously, because we didn't say we played it last week, and then suddenly we're reviewing it this week. So not only is that obvious, but that makes obvious another category, which some would say is our most important. Did anyone beat a game this week?
Yeah, I beat that
Craig.
Monkey Island.
Monkey Island. All right. What about you, Zach?
I didn't beat anything.
Nothing for you. All right, Cameron.
Nada. Didn't beat anything.
All right. Monkey Island. Nothing. And what's that? Oh, it's 2 for me, even though I'm still fucking losing. Monkey Island, I finished, and I also finished Secret of Mana. I really wish I would have not become obsessed over the Resistance game mode yesterday, because I could have definitely beaten Metal Gear Solid 3, but I didn't actually play it at all, so can't really beat a game that you don't play unfortunately. But that's where
some
we are.
wisdom right there.
I know, yeah. That's what I'll be remembered for. Is those words. The
Can't
Nude
be the
Clan.
game you don't play. You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Michael Scott.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Hog for the hosts. Nude Clan Hog. Caleb Craig, King Hog with 7. I am in second place with 6. Cameron is in third place with 5, and Zach is in last with 4 games beaten.
Shit.
For the year.
God damn it.
I know, man.
654, huh? That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's not bad. I mean, it's an average of like, what, 6? Something? No, it's probably like 5.5, but it's a good amount of games. Good amount. It is April, but still. We'll catch up. We'll catch up. Fuck. Craig, are you ready for this thing?
Yeah.
God. Alright, let me pull up the trailer for... I bet you there's a trailer for the No, you know what? I bet you there's an OG trailer. I kind of like finding those OG trailers to these old-ass games. Oh, man, I just typed in secret trailer. That's how tired I am right now. Secret of Monkey Island trailer. There we go.
Is there an actual secret to the island?
No.
Is it their slave labor force for diamonds?
Nope.
Yeah.
None of that.
It's surprisingly secretless in
Or
a
is
lot of
it
ways.
that the church likes little boys? There's so many secrets it could be.
Yeah. You know what? There's not really a good trailer. It doesn't look like. There's just gameplay trailers, special edition trailer, but that's like 7 minutes long. I guess we can play a little bit of that one. I won't play the whole thing, but... So, Secret of Monkey Island special edition trailer. Rated E, 10 and up. Alcohol, tobacco, mischief, some other shit. Alright, digging up a chest. LucasArts logo in the chest.
My name is Ron Gilbert, and up at Lucasfilm in 1990, I did this little game called Monkey Something, Monkey Island.
Alright, so it's like
an
a...
explanation.
Monkey bladders, it's Monkey Island.
No, you know what? I'm not gonna watch this fucking trailer. It's not a trailer. It's like an homage mixed with a trailer. Because I guess for some reason they didn't have a trailer in the beginning. I didn't see an OG trailer. Like we got that sweet one with Sonic, where he goes real fast, you know. And that was a 1991 trailer. So what the fuck? What the fuck, LucasArts? Where's our fucking trailer, bro? All right, so Secret of Monkey Island is a clickety-clack game developed and published by Lucasfilms. It takes place...
Clickety Clack? Is that the name of the developer or the studio?
No,
He's
it's
making
just it's just a stupid way to say point-and-click adventure game. The studio is Lucasfilms Games,
Dude, how
which
far
is
they
also
fell.
it's also a stupid fucking name for a game studio. It should just be Lucas Games, but Lucasfilms Games. All right. But it takes place on a fictional island in the Caribbean during pirate days.
You're
And
telling me
you
Monkey Island
take
doesn't exist?
yeah, I guess there are. Yeah, there are still modern pirates, but got swords, no guns. So you take the role of Guybrush Threepwood, who is a young man who wants to become a pirate and solve puzzles.
Fucking idiot.
Also an idiot, yeah. Yeah. So the game initially released in October of 1990. So this game is pretty old. It's getting up there in the years. And you can kind of tell with how it plays and stuff like that. We'll talk about our port of it later. But the story, essentially, you start out as this kid who wants to be a pirate, and you go into this bar that's called the Scum Bar. Which is funny because the Scum, that's the name of their engine that they created to make these point and click like adventure games. So I thought it was kind of funny that they named it that. And there's a lot of like self-referencing and shit in this game, whether you like it or not. And I suspect I know where Craig comes down on that, but there's a lot of stuff like that. So you take over as Guybrush Threepwood, and you are on the docks of Melee Island, and you pretty much just kind of walk around, talk to people. You find some pirates. You ask them how you can become a pirate as well. They give you a task.
You talk to the big three pirates, and they tell you got to pass the trials, which basically means that you got to beat a sword master. You got to find the treasure, and you have to master the arts of thievery. And so basically, this is like that takes up the whole first part of the game, where you're trying to like master the trials. And so you go learn the sword from this one guy, and he tells you that basically the secret to swordsmanship is good insults. And so you spend some time gathering insults from the other pirates, and then you take on the sword master. When you beat her, you get a T-shirt that says you beat the sword master. You take that back to the big three pirate guys, and then you have to go find the treasure. So you go into the forest. You like look at your map. You follow until you get to the X. Then you dig for the treasure. And then you go steal this precious idol from the governor's house, which involves a lot of weird puzzle shit. And then when you do that, you talk to the governor, and she's like, "Oh well, okay, I'll just let you go." And then you go back to meet the pirates, and you basically find out that she's been kidnapped. And that's when Guybrush Threepwood realizes he's been in love with the governor all along. And that she also loves him.
Yeah, I liked the pirates. It's basically Anthrax meeting up with the other big three members, and they're like, well, if you want to be a real band, what you need to do is find a great guitarist that we'll steal later.
If you want to be part of the big four.
Yeah, if you wanted to be the big four and not just the big three plus Anthrax, here's what you got to do.
Plus Anthrax.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you go out, and I kind of liked the way they added combat in this game, because, there's not really much they can do from 1990 for combat. And so the combat is you just insult people, and you just have to do comebacks to insults and land good insults on people, and then they'll have like little fighting animations, and then depending on who's closer to the whatever side they started on is like who's losing in the sword fight, because they're getting pushed back, and you can kind of gauge your health that way, so to speak. So I kind of really like how they did that. But yeah, you got to develop your sick insults to fight the sword master, and this is the part of the game that took me the longest, because I was trying to just play it without using a guide for the first like few hours, and then I was like, you know what, I can't do this. Like, it's just too much. Like, I didn't even realize I could go onto the main map. Like, it's not a game that I'm privy to whatsoever, right? And so I fucking cheated my ass off to finish this game. Like, it was ridiculous.
Like a real pirate.
Sadly, yeah, like a real pirate. I got really into my role as Guybrush Threepwood. I was there. But yeah, like Craig said, you find out you realize that you're actually in love with the governor the whole time, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go save her. And you find out she got kidnapped by pirates of the dead variety.
The ghost pirate LeChuck.
Yeah.
Who has been scaring off all the other pirates, which is why they don't want to do anything.
When you said you cheated the fuck out of the game, like, what do you mean about that? Like, is it like in-game mechanics you can exploit or something?
No, I just read a guide.
Watched a guide.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Your definition of cheating is different than mine, but okay.
It's definitely cheap, but
Yeah,
probably
it's
not cheap.
But yeah.
that cheap, not cheat. So I
I
should
don't
have.
know. For this game, I would say it is cheat because of the way that it is, but whatever.
So we both cheated.
Yeah.
We're both shits, little shitty cheaters.
We're both little chucks. Little bit chucks.
But yeah, so the ghost, the pirate ghost LeChuck kidnaps her, and so you start putting together a crew to take him on, and so that's when you go get the sword master. You tell her that the governor's been kidnapped and you need her help. Then you go recruit this one guy named Meat Hook. And then you also go and recruit this other guy named Otis, who's in jail.
Yeah.
And then you buy a ship.
I liked Meat Hook's backstory. He just got his arms ripped off by a bird, and then you for him to join you, you have to show that you're ballsy enough to be a leader in his eyes, and you have to open up this huge safe room that's got multiple layers, and then inside is just a giant parrot. And the parrot is the one that fucking maimed him, or at least he's of the same variety.
You have to touch the parrot, and then he's like, "You've done what I never could," and he starts fucking crying.
Yeah.
So does he have giant meat hooks for hands?
Yeah, he just has the hook hands. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, you gather these guys together, and you have to break Otis out of jail with the most infuriating part of the game, easily, grog, which is super acidic and destructive, and you have to bring a cup of it from the bar all the way to the jail cell. And the problem is that the cups are melting as you go along. And on the fucking PlayStation version, dude, oh my god, you have to press L2, and then you have to select use.
We should talk
and then
about that in gameplay.
Okay. So this part's really frustrating story-wise and gameplay-wise for the story. But you break him out of jail, you get your crew together, and you guys head to Monkey Island, right? You head to the actual island itself. You blast...
Yeah, and then while you're on the ship, on the way to Monkey Island, your crew is like, "Oh, well, we don't actually want to go do this now." So they basically lounge around. Then you do some weird, quote-unquote, puzzle solving until you make this weird brew that makes you pass out, and then you just happen to roll up next to Monkey Island. And then you shoot yourself out of a cannon, and you land on Monkey Island.
Yep, you put a pot on your head, a kitchen pot, and you just launch yourself out there. And once you get there, the game opens up here a little bit more, I would say. But you're basically just exploring the island, finding little pieces of things, finding bananas. You eventually
you gotta find 5 bananas so that the monkey will follow you, so that he'll pull this lever for you, and then you gotta help out this old man who was previously at Monkey Island before. You gotta get his banana picker back for him from the cannibals of the island, so that he gives you the key to the opening the monkey head, so you can go down and confront LeChuck. And then you also help out the cannibals by bringing them an idol, so that they help you make this potion that will banish ghosts.
Yeah.
So you go find this. So you go find the root in the monkey's head on LeChuck's ship, and then you go sneak back out of it. Have them make the potion for you. Then you find out LeChuck actually sailed back to Melee Island so that he can marry the governor at the church there.
Oh.
And then, that's where it basically ends. You get to the island. You defeat all the ghosts with the special root beer. And then, you get like a big fight scene with LeChuck, and you find out that the governor wasn't really kidnapped. She was like working her own plan. She had her own special root beer of banishment the whole time. And then, you spray fucking LeChuck, and then he dies again. And then it just kind of ends.
Yeah. Then there's like a fireworks show from LeChuck's body. Strangely, because he like explodes.
And so you enjoy that with the governor, and then that's like the ending.
Yeah, you put your hand, you put a mitt in the oven, and then it's over. It's pretty much what happens, as far as I remember. Anyway, there's really not a whole lot to the story. Honestly, it's pretty simple. I think the characters were really well done. If I'm going to be completely honest, I think the characters are great for what they are. Your guy's kind of an idiot, but, I liked the side guys. I think the voice acting did a good job. I even went classic mode multiple times, and it was still pretty amusing. There's a lot of humor in the game, and a lot of joking around, and there's even like a part where you're talking to a dog, and then the dog will just make a bunch of dog noises, and then he'll just say Monkey Island, and it'll have the trademark.
He'll say actual random words mixed in there.
Yeah.
Growls.
And it just has the trademark thing next to it too in the chat, and so it's pretty funny. It's just joking around.
If you have subtitles on, every time they mention Monkey Island or Melee item, it has the trademark symbol right next to it.
Yeah, so the game's definitely goofing off. And I don't know, I didn't really mind the story that much. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to follow. There's not really anything crazy. You're just basically saving the governor from the dead pirate.
I know it's supposed to be comedy, and some of the comedy parts were decent, but I don't know. I really didn't care for it at all, because there's a lot of stuff in there that's really fucking pointless. Gathering a crew that does nothing. I mean, the idea of that was kind of funny, but it introduces the character of the meat hook guy for literally no point. You could have just had that guy who stands out on the lookout be your other guy on the ship, instead of introducing a new character for some fuck
that's
off
true.
reason.
He didn't really have any purpose after that.
Yeah, and then fucking the governor and him just fall in love instantly. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some good humor in there, but it's
Yeah, the old guy, there's an old guy you find on the island, on Monkey Island, and there's a funny part with him where he had the ship, so you had to buy a ship also before you got the crew, and the guy who got the ship, the ship just randomly came back to town one day, and it just goes to Monkey Island. And the guys who went there last, one of the dudes on the island is that old guy that we were talking about earlier with the banana grabber. Is one of the dudes that
guy.
Yeah, he's one of the dudes that got there in the beginning, and then there's a conversation you have with him, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna take me back, right? You're here to rescue me, right?" And you're like, "Well, I'm not really here to rescue you, but I suppose I could rescue you while I'm at it."
Yeah, it's but you can come with us when we leave.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And then at the end, there's a little scene where he's like, "Well, where's that pirate guy gone off to?" And he's like, "I hope he didn't."
Where's my new pirate friend at? I hope he didn't leave without me.
Yeah, and then it cuts to your guy, and he's like, "Oh crap, we forgot what's his name." And then they just leave it, and then we get the end credits. So there's some good comedy in there. I don't know. What are you going to give the story on this thing, Craig? What are you feeling?
I'll give it a 6.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a 7. I was going to joke and say I was going to give it a 10, but I don't know if you... I don't think I could have tricked you with that. It's pretty passable. I do like the characters, like I mentioned earlier. I think they're all pretty well fleshed out. I like the comedy in it, but I don't know. It's just kind of light in the story department, honestly, which is weird because The next category.
The story for the game is basically incredibly reliant on all the jokes that they make. That's literally the story of the game, because the rest of the story is, he wants to be a pirate, but ends up not really being a pirate because he just saves the governor.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
So, I mean, the story is, like, counterintuitive, so it's like,
But
It's entirely for comedic purposes, and I guess it does that, but not well, for me anyway.
yeah, what do you think about the gameplay in this thing, though, Craig? We haven't
I
had.
fucking hate it. That's what I think about it.
You
so
went right
medium.
fucking to it. You just like took that jugular and you just stabbed.
Dude,
bro.
there is no medium. This game is so incredibly archaic, and the fucking controls that they have that they put on the fucking the Xbox and the PlayStation are fucking horrendous. It's awful. We have to press like 6 buttons in order to have one thing happen.
Yeah, dude, I've got to like.
And some of those fucking like things, the puzzles require speed of some kind, and it's like ridiculous.
Requires some sort of speed.
You play, yeah.
You can't have some kind of speed if we have to press like 8 buttons in order to have something happen. It's like,
Dude.
I need to push this thing. Let me pull this trigger. Let me move over 12 times to the point where I can press A on the fucking pull button so we can push this thing once. It's fucking, and then you have to do the same thing again to do the fucking push option. Like, it's
dude.
nuts.
The fucking unlocking the safe.
Yeah,
to get
unlocking the safe took like 150 inputs in order to move it like 12 times.
There's a part where you're trying to get a loan from the shopkeeper, and he's not down to give you a loan because he knows you're useless. And so he like goes back up to his safe and he puts something in there, and you have to watch him do the safe combo. And then to push, when you push it, it goes counterclockwise, and when you use pull, it goes clockwise. So you have to memorize the way he's twisting the handle around. And then you have to go up there, and you have to fucking go. You have to press L2 on my version, and you have to select pull, and then you click on the fucking thing, and then he pulls it. And then you got to do it again and again until it's done. And then you have to do the same thing for push. And it is slow as fuck. It is clunky. You have to, when you're selecting things to combine with or things to use other things on within your inventory, if you press up on the D-pad, you get fucked.
It took like an eternity and a day to figure out how to fucking use items with other items. Like, because you have to go into your little fucking menu thing of options of what to do, and you have to go to use, and then it took me forever that there was another button that you could just press that would bring up the item list for you.
Dude, weren't you using like a guide as well?
Yeah, I was, but the guy didn't fucking tell me what the different buttons do. I had to figure that shit out on my own.
That sounds like a shitty
Because the
guide,
game
man.
also doesn't tell you jack fucking shit.
Yeah, it really doesn't, dude. Like, I spent an hour exploring this world without even realizing there was a pickup button. Like, I didn't know there was a menu. I didn't know there was a way to change like the default ones with the D-pad.
That sounds
I was just like, what am I doing here? I'm just walking around town, and I know I need to buy stuff, but like I don't have any money. And then like I followed the guide, and the guide's like, go out to the world map, and I'm like, I don't even know where that is. Like, it's just old, man. It's just so old. You played it on the Xbox, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
But
so
it
you
had the same kind of thing.
Yeah, you know the rapeness of the fucking menu system in this thing. Then
Yeah, dude, it's fucking retarded. Like, the fact that I have to put, like, 8 inputs into the fucking controller to pick up one item, and the fact that it won't, like... Because sometimes when you select something to do, like, the one button will stay as that particular thing. But not if you want to pick something up. No, you have to put the 8-button fucking pressing thing every time to pick up one item. And when we had to fucking switch the grog cups, like, I had to pick up all 5 of those cups just to make sure that I didn't fuck up somehow. And I had to fucking do an 8-button combo to pick up 5 fucking cups. Each time. It's 40 fucking inputs.
Yeah, it's like doing like an 8-point turn in a fucking car. It's just like, God! Just make it a 2-way street, for fuck's sake. It's just so much, dude. And A4 brings up, didn't it have a hint function? Yeah, it has a hint function, but God, it doesn't tell you the skeletal
Dude, the
structure of the
hint function
game.
is also really stupid because it's like the vaguest fucking thing. It's like, oh man, I can't remember what one of them was, but it was like I needed to learn swordsmanship or something, and it was basically like, go look for the sword master. It's like, oh really? Should I do that?
Oh man, yeah, there's just no explanation as to what the fuck you need to do, like, at all. It just throws you in this world and you're just supposed to click like mad. And then the items that you have to pick up, like, god damn, dude. It's just ridiculous. Like a stew pot, you have to pick up flowers, you have to pick up like all sorts of random things, like a fucking pulley chicken thing. It's like a chicken with like a fucking pulley system on it. It's like, what is this? You have to pick up that. It's just all sorts of random
and then
items.
You don't even use that until you go to like fucking recruit meat hook.
Yeah, you use it like over halfway through the game.
You pick up a bunch of shit in the very beginning of the game, and then you don't even use it till like the end. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. The combat, I think, is actually fun. Just throwing insults at people. I thought that was a fun way to like implement some kind of combat with a game that
I would have liked it
old.
more if you had to use it at any time after that, but you don't. Because, like, I thought you were learning swordsmanship so that you could, like, fight LeChuck. But that's not how it works. You don't use that, the insult
So you spend time
fighting
learning
thing
a game
at any
mechanic
time
and
afterwards.
taking part, in this part of the game, and it just does not pay off later at all.
No, it doesn't. The only time that it pays off is for getting the Sword Master, which is, like, all that's for.
yeah, pretty much.
And then you don't use it at all after that. So it's literally just like a 10-minute part that's self-contained. It's pretty lame, to be honest. I mean, I did like the trading insults thing, but it doesn't serve any purpose outside of like that little section.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened in the story section too, with like stuff like Meat Hook, where it's like, oh, that's kind of a funny little introduction, and then he just sits on the ship forever. Like they don't actually do anything. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like a fucking Quentin Tarantino character. It's just like Hugo Stiglitz, and it gives you some Hugo Stiglitz background, and then like 5 seconds later, he's fucking dead. Just like instantly blasted, and you're like, really?
That
like,
one
he's
hurts
already...
a little bit because I like that character a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, except for less payoff. Same amount of build up, like no payoff for some of the guys, and there's some funny little quirks that they have as characters, but then it just doesn't go anywhere. And the gameplay kind of does that too. It's like, oh, this is kind of fun. The combat's kind of interesting, and then it doesn't really go anywhere. You don't really fight LeChuck. You just get your bottle of root beer and you shoot him with it, and he gets blasted, and then You stick a couple fingers in the oven while you're watching some fireworks, and then the second game comes.
So
like
this was the second Monkey Island, wasn't it?
No,
This is the first one.
This is the first one.
yeah, this is number 1. Number 2 is like LeChuck's Revenge or some shit. This isn't the first game like this that these guys had made, though. So they had done this kind of thing before, but not for this series.
What, for LucasArts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird because I don't know the way the name so I knew we had this game and we were supposed to play this game for a long time, but like knowing what the name of the game was for some reason was like impossible for me. It's like I don't know. It just seems like a sequel, because it seems like there should just be Monkey Island and then
Secret of Monkey Island.
And then
Yeah,
the Secret
yeah.
Monkey Island.
and then the second one or the third one or whatever. It just seemed weird, and so. I don't know. For some reason, it took me a minute to find what version I was going to play.
I know what you're saying because I also felt like that. I was like, is this the right one? Because it's like everybody calls it Monkey Island, and then the second one's just called Monkey Island 2, and it's like the first one's just Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah, it's really weird.
So you said there's no secrets. Like the secret was you left the old man there to die.
So the secret is basically that if you use a fucking ear cleaner thing on the monkey's head, it opens up, and then you can go into the cave that leads to this underground system where LeChuck is hiding. That's basically the secret.
So LeChuck is the secret.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it is kind of secretive, but I don't know. It doesn't seem as like Goonies kind of secret-y.
And it's not even really a secret because everybody knows that it's there.
It's only a secret to you because no one's told you yet.
That's true. Everyone does know it's there. That's kind of dumb, huh? And it's like, and then everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, it's cursed. It's like not good. You're not supposed to go there because everyone dies when they go to Monkey Island." But
So do they know that?
But that's because of the cannibals.
Oh yeah, I guess. Do they know that the ghost dude's there, LeChuck, or is that the secret?
Yeah, the cannibals know that the ghost dudes are there, and there is some funny stuff between them because like you find these notes all over the island that are basically just like, "Hey, LeChuck, stop doing this," and then he's like, "Hey, you know what? Stop leaving idols in front of my house," basically, because he lives inside their like God's head, and then. There's just like funny little exchanges you can find.
yeah, and it's like town hall meeting board messages, like from the town hall, basically telling them like, "Hey, you need to stop doing this. Like your parties are too loud at night. You're disturbing the neighbors."
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that, and then it's just mostly just clicking though. That's how I would describe the gameplay. Just pressing X on my controller and. Hoping he goes where he's
all the
supposed
buttons
to.
on your controller.
Yeah, and then I can't.
Looking at some of the gameplay online, like this does not look like a very engaging game.
Oh, it's not. It's one of the most passive, boring things I've ever experienced.
Yeah. I was
also
not
frustrating
having fun.
because there were ridiculous puzzles like the grog thing that Schweiss was trying to talk about before. Fucking horrendous. All right, we have to get these fucking 5 cups. All right, we have to fill one of them up with grog, and it basically the hint basically is like, oh well, if you use the grog will be put into another cup. So it's like you think that it'll just like automatically transfer, and no, it doesn't automatically transfer, like, at all. And the fucking puzzle is literally fucking pointless, because if you fill up the cup, and then you're fast enough, you can make it all the way to the jail, to the lock that you're supposed to pour it on, just in time for the damn thing to disappear. So there's literally just, like, 2 seconds of, like, time that they could have added to it, and it would have been fine. They didn't even need to make that a puzzle. But then they were like, okay, now you also have to pour the cup that's melting into a new cup so you have time enough to pour it onto the lock. So they just added an extra step to fucking piss you off.
Yeah, and you're sitting there, and here's the problem with this thing, okay? The problem is, like, you'll press L2 to pull up the command screen. This is the screen of all commands, which would be really fast because on the old game, you could just click on the numerous commands on the side of the screen and you just select what to do, right?
Right.
So you go L2, and then you have to use the fucking stick. You cannot use the D-pad. If you use the D-pad, it'll default you to the 4 default ones that are assigned to the D-pad, and I don't think you can change those, which would be really nice if you could. But, like, so if I'm in that menu and I press the D-pad, I have to, like, unselect the menu and then kind of go back in, or just reselect whatever one I'm trying to press. So you have to use the fucking joystick to go over to the one that you want to select. You press X, and then it'll exit you out of that screen, and you can interact with the environment in whatever way you've selected to interact with. So you have to do use. So you L2, click on use, and then you press R2. You click on the one grog cup, and then you click on the second grog cup. And if you fucking press any button in that time frame, you're done, man. And that grog cup is just melting. And you're sitting there like fucking like trying to pat your head and like rub your stomach while you're fucking pressing the use button on this grog thing. And it's maddening. It's madness. It's just fucking madness.
It's fucking horrendous, too, because it doesn't tell you that you can press R2 to bring up the menu again to be able to use items after you press the use button to interact with anything. So for the longest time, I kept trying to open up the menu, go to use, and then when it was like, okay, now you can go and then, you know, use that item with whatever, I opened up the menu again and tried to use the use button again, because I thought that's how you had to combine items. But nope, because there's a hidden little button called R2 that just brings up the fucking menu. Because it doesn't fucking tell you that's how you interact with 2 items. It was the fucking most bullshit thing I ever had to figure out.
Yeah, and to be fair, like A4 said in the chat, this is designed for PC, and the console version you can tell is definitely trashier than the PC.
Yeah. One of the first things I told Schweiss was like, I can imagine this game being a lot fucking easier on PC, because what I had to go through with the fucking controller on the console is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude, and I don't know, it's just
so it sounds
too
like
much.
This game should have been ported over. Like the PC version might have a better rating than the console version.
Yeah, I would say it should. It's just too many menu items. It's like some MMOs on console. There's just so much that it becomes clunky, you know. In the PC, you have so many more options, so many more hotkeys that you can use for everything. And on the console, those things just aren't there. They're just not there. And that's one of this game's problems. Now, I don't think I'll dock it as hard because of the port, because I can see how it would be easier on PC, but the game still, it doesn't even spit before it shoves it in your ass, dude. It just goes. Like, it's just, and it's not that it's hard, it doesn't tell you what to do, and you're like,
it's so bad.
You have no idea what the fuck's happening. I was like, I'm going to play this without a guide. Like, this is a classic game. I could do this without a guide. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what the fuck's happening.
The only part I did without a guide was the part where you're on the ship, because that was easy enough to figure out on my own.
So it seems like a guide isn't necessarily cheap or cheating. It's just how you have to play the game if it doesn't tell you anything, which is shit.
We were supposed to click and figure out. It's supposed to be an adventure. So, like, the adventure is supposed to be you figuring out everything that's in this world.
So I can see how that can be interpreted as cheating in this kind of game.
Yeah.
Because it's solving the puzzles for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it gives you a hint option, too, which will eventually tell you exactly what to do. So, I mean, it's basically like looking at a guide, only it will take, like, 20 times longer.
Yeah. It's something else. And I guess the only other real click adventure game, I mean, I played like King's Quest and stuff like that back in the day. I played a few of those games, and I also played that Gone Home game, which is also a similar kind of game. Except for that game actually has controls. This game doesn't. This game, you just click, man, and the controls just, they make you want to, I told this to Craig last night, I was like, this grog minigame makes me want to go on a killing spree, starting with myself. Like, I'm mad enough to take out a bunch of people, but I'll just do me. Like, it's so ridiculous. And I was just like, I'm like trying to, fucking jack off while, dancing.
Yeah, dude.
While doing the hula hoop, while fucking lightly turning the fucking left joystick with my pinky. It's like, fuck, man, there's just too many inputs. It's like the input lag that happens in Cuphead. It's like five things is one too many for your brain to fucking handle, and this game is just like somehow maxing out bandwidth even though there's nothing happening in front of me. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just can't do it, man. I can't fucking do it. I can't press. I can't
thing
not
was
use
so
the D-pad.
Bullshit, man. Like I went back and forth between the jail and the fucking bar at least 20 times. That part took me like 15 minutes before I realized, oh, I need to pour the grog into another cup. It's not a matter of timing. It's a matter of the game is bullshit.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure out the puzzle, Craig.
Yeah,
Like,
the puzzle.
well,
the
that
puzzle
was
is
the puzzle.
you.
The puzzle is that you have to pour grog onto the lock. That
Well,
was the entire
and the solution
puzzle.
was
And
The
figure
other
out
part
you
of
need a
it is
second
that you
cup
have
for
to
it.
pour it into another cup to have enough time.
But hey, you
to
did it
pour
without a
onto the
guide.
lock.
You did it, buddy. You did what they wanted you to do.
It's fucking stupid.
You solved the puzzle, Craig.
Yeah, you did it.
I did solve the puzzle, and it was fucking stupid. Also, the fucking part where you have to open up the safe was retarded. Because, like, it's different every time for every player and every playthrough. So my guide was completely pointless at that part. And he opens and closes the safe really fucking quick. So you have to pay attention to which way the thing is moving, because whether or not you push or pull translate to left and right. And so I had to basically figure out what everything was, and I had to like call him back in like 3 times in order to watch this thing
make sure you pay
perfectly.
attention this time.
Well, because like it doesn't let you just repeat it. You have to like go through this fucking process of like being able to watch him do it. Like you have to fucking because you have to tell him to leave so you can try and get it done.
Yeah.
And he won't interact with you regarding the fucking safe again until you like basically leave, go back in, press the bell to get him to come back, and then be like, okay, now I'm ready to do this thing again. And then you have to like watch him walk up the fucking stairs, open up the safe, walk back down the stairs, walk to the counter to talk to you and be like, okay, well, here's the thing. And then you're like, oh, well, actually, I can't do it. So now he has to fucking walk back up the stairs to the safe, and you have to like fucking carefully watch the way that the safe moves. I had to fucking take notes at this part using like B and F for back and forward, and it's like the number of times that he presses the damn thing, because it does it like 12 times. It's like that's how fucking quick it was. It was like the last like 4 times is like the fastest fucking bullshit. It's like, how did he get there? What the fuck? So I had to watch it like 3 times. I had to watch that motherfucker go up and down the stairs like 9 times. It was ridiculous. He's slow as shit.
It's like he's super fucking slow to walk up and down the stairs, but as soon as he touches the face, he just like fucking fastest hands on the sea, just fucking solving that save.
Dude,
Oh man,
oh man, I was so pissed at that.
I had to
fucking part.
redo it once, but that's where I quit last night because I was like, "Okay, I don't want to deal with this." And it was like almost 6 a.m. and I was like, "Look, I said I was going to beat this thing. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to go to sleep. Like, I am fucking dead, man." So I saved it there. Then I came back and I was like, fuck this part. And then I had him come back in. And for me, dude, I shit you not, it was straight. It was 6 o'clock to start, and then it went all the way up to and back to 6 o'clock clockwise. It did that counterclockwise, and then it did it again clockwise, and that was it. That was my safe combo in the end. So I fucking woke up, and I thought it was going to be...
It's a different safe combo every time.
It is,
every
yeah.
Playthrough.
It is, yeah. But I thought I was going to wake up, and it was going to be me shit-faced, and then the Final Fantasy X-2, like, jump on the strings to make the music minigame, where I was trash, and that was what I needed to do to get to the final boss, and I was like, what? I thought it was going to be like that, but it was normal. because I was so tired, and I was like, "Fuck, this thing's gonna fuck me." Because I'm gonna be watching this safe, and I'm gonna my brain's gonna spaz out, and I'm gonna forget one of the fucking rotations that he does. But it was just back and forth over and over again. So that's hilarious that yours was such a fuck fest.
Yeah, dude, it was. Oh man, it made me so mad. Oh man, and then the fucking character of Stan with the guy, the boat salesman. I hate him. I hate this fucking character. He is so annoying.
Is it just super tropey?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Of what a used car salesman
He's like
would be?
he's basically a used car salesman that's like incredibly aggravating, super annoying because he's like one of those guys who's like really pushy and also like trying to be really nice at the same time. And the character fucking flails his arms like he's having a stroke.
yeah, he's annoying, and you have to talk him down and do a bunch of stuff to get the right price for the boat, using the credit from the store guy that you robbed from his safe. His character is crazy because I would go back and forth between like classic mode and regular mode, and like just to see like what does this look like back in the day, and it looked pretty much the same. I was like, wow, that's okay. That's what I expected, I guess. Just a pixelated version of what's happening, and his character was pretty crazy in the classic mode. I thought that was one of the fun ones that I went back and looked at. But I love the rage on the safe thing because I was like, I'm surprised he wasn't more mad about the safe thing because I remember you fucking screeching about the grog, but I didn't remember anything about the safe. And I was like, dude, the safe's worse than the grog because like the grog is just like the game's controls fucking you. The safe is the game fucking you. Like it's like no matter what version, no matter who, no matter where, this is gonna be a bitch. But yeah, it's fucking the puzzles in this thing and like the item combining. There's one part where you have to like combine. You have to throw a hunk of meat in a stew and then later combine it with a flour to then give it to these dogs and drug them so that you can break into the
that was
governor's
also
house.
super pain because I thought because it was like I looked at the hint because I wasn't using the guide at that part, which was a mistake. And
it's always a mistake. Just use it the whole fucking time.
Yeah, so I was checking the hint, and it was basically like, you might want to combine the meat with something. And I was like, I can use the meat with the stew. Am I supposed to put it in the stew and then take it back out? Like, I didn't realize you could combine items from the inventory yet, so I thought I was supposed to use it with something that was, like, in the world at that part. And no, it took me forever. I was supposed to mix it with the fucking flower petals. So that was...
Yeah, who fucking thinks, I'm going to mix my meat with some fucking flowers?
Well, I mean...
Well, and then the other thing is, like, there's, like, multiple flower things that you can possibly pick from. So there's, like, a red flower thing, and it was like, no, I would look like a pansy if I tried to pick flowers right now in the forest. But you could pick yellow flowers for some fuck-off reason that it never gives you, and it's like, oh yeah, let's use that to mix with the meat. This questionable substance of meat.
Yeah, there's a lot of annoying little puzzles, and you just need to be a klepto like all the time. You need to steal everything from everybody, or else you're just fucked. I mean, that's really all.
Well, you can't beat the game because those are the puzzle pieces.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of. I mean, thankfully, there's trial and error, but there's no like error to the point where you are fucked in the game. But there's error to the point where you want to not be alive anymore. But but that's really as far as it goes. There's not any like unforgivable gameplay moments for me. There's some that are really bad, but it's not a one-time use and then you don't have the item anymore kind of a thing. The worst, I guess, example of that is the grog, trying to move the grog to the jail cell. But that was actually pretty easy. I only needed one transfer, and you could pick up 4 extra
you only
mugs.
need one transfer. It gives you enough time for that. Because It's pointless, and if they gave you 3 more fucking seconds, you could just pour it on in one try. But whatever.
Yeah, they gotta fuck you with the game mechanics. Oh, that's true. There is one point where you can die in the game, where you get thrown into the underwater area when you get tied to the idol. And there's
if you wait for 10 minutes, then your character dies.
Yeah, so I waited and got the trophy for that. But that's the only time you can really die in the game. And the port makes saving pretty easy. I'm sure the original version was super easy to save too, because it's a PC game, and it's you can save every 2 seconds in half a second when you're playing a game on PC, generally. So I don't know. What are you gonna? Do you have any more comments on the gameplay, Craig? Because I don't really know anything else to say. There's just pick up everything. Try to figure out how to interact with things. That's really the biggest thing for me. Was just once I discovered there was a pick up item button, then I was
the other thing that was pretty annoying was just the map area. Sometimes it would take forever to figure out where you were supposed to go. If I didn't have a guide, that would have been really annoying. Because when you're clicking on stuff, it doesn't tell you that it's a section until you get close enough to it. And then also, when you clicked on a specific section of the map, your character would go directly to it, and it would transition into an actual map piece or whatever. And so when you were fighting the pirates, I thought you were supposed to click on the pirates, and so you would encounter them. But you were just supposed to stand still, and then they would run into you.
Yeah, if you clicked, you would actually avoid them, was the thing. I thought that was really weird. I was like, what the fuck?
It took me a little bit to figure that out. I was like, why am I encountering them sometimes and not others? But because I kept trying to click to interact with them, which was super annoying. But yeah, I guess that's really all I have for gameplay. Because the cannibals are, I guess, more story, but they have some interactions with gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, for me, I don't know. I don't think this is a game made for me. I think back in the day, it might have been kind of fun, just as a gimmick thing to kind of mess around with. I don't know if I would have really been... I don't know if I would have played this game back then. There's a chance,
I've never
though.
really been a big fan of point-and-click games. I didn't mind Sam and Max that much because I actually really did enjoy the humor in that. But even that, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't a big fan of these until this game.
Yeah, Telltale has kind of moved away from exactly what a point-and-click usually is, which is what we just played. But they're kind of in a similar vein, and they're more engaging because you still have to press stuff during their cutscenes and whatever. But yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm gonna give gameplay a 3.
Oh, jeez.
And I feel like I'm being kind by giving it a 3 because I originally was thinking a 1.
Well, that is pretty kind compared to a 1.
Holy shit, bro.
I'm going to give it a 5. I think the port has some serious problems, and I think this thing is just aged. It's definitely aged. The thing's over 30 years old now, or almost 30 years old, I guess. And you can tell, it has some problems in a modern sense. It's not very fun to play. It's just kind of clicking and collecting, and I don't know. It's just not really for me.
It's a very passive game that's made incredibly tedious on the console.
Yeah. And so our version, if I was basing it on our version, I'd probably give it a 2 or a 3. But I think on the PC, I can see it being a little easier to play, and also. There were some, I guess, some kind of fun moments, but that's mostly with the story and stuff like that. I just think this game, this style of game, I'm glad is not really that big of a thing now, because I don't like point and clicks. I just don't like them, apparently, because it was kind of miserable. I mean, I could understand like a point and click where you are just exploring a cool world, but like that wasn't really the thing here. The thing here was combining items and like solving puzzles. And I know that's a big part of all the point and click games, but I just don't give a fuck, man. It's just so tedious to me that it's not fun to do that. It's like I don't want to play Where's Waldo for fucking 9 hours. You know what I mean? Like, you want to play Where's Waldo for 20 minutes until you find the little fuck, and then you're done. You know, you don't buy the fucking Where's Waldo encyclopedia and just fucking find that little bastard all day, every day. And that's kind of what this felt like. It felt like a little thing that's a little tedious. Every once in a while, it's kind of enjoyable, but it's just fucking 8 hours of it. That's how long it took me to beat this thing. According to the thing, I left it on for like 2 hours, I think, and the game just counts time when you're paused. So, but it was still about 5 hours of me just fucking trying to figure out how to make money and buy shit in this game. It was the first like hour and a half before I said, you know what? I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Going to that circus to make money, I would never have figured that out.
Yeah. Why would you? Why would you? And I didn't know there was a pickup button for the fucking pot. Yeah, the pot.
You have to pick up the pot and then go to the circus and be like, yeah, this pot is going to be my helmet while you launch me out of this fucking cannon, and then I'm going to get paid money that I'm going to use for the rest of the game, except for, like, I'm still going to have, like, 178 pieces of 8 left over at the end.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And I don't think I would recommend it. I mean, unless you like suffering. I mean, unless you like being mildly entertained while also being very frustrated at Clunk, I couldn't really recommend it for the gameplay. All right, graphics and design. How does it look? What do you
Old
think?
as shit.
Yeah. It is pretty old. It does look older than games that came out around it, though.
Special edition, like, that didn't even really look that great as an upgrade, I feel. It still felt really old, because, like, the characters, there was no... I feel like it was just a reskin. Like, that's it. That's all they did. Like, they didn't try to make it feel more fluid in movements or anything. It was just like, oh, well, we have like a different art style we can attach to this, and so that's what they did. Like, it still doesn't really look that great to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
I mean,
those cannibals, they had the exact same body, but their heads were different. That's like the only change.
Yeah. I mean,
And
there's
they do that with a lot of shit. So I don't know.
They do, and it's I don't know. It is kind of like it does have those 3D graphics, and it is fully rendered in 3D. But it almost kind of suffers for it. I think they would have been better off with in the classic mode when I switched to that. I think they would have been better off with pre-rendered backgrounds and a character model. You know, I think it looks pretty shitty. And I mean, I've played games that are older than this before. Final Fantasy 1 is 3 years older than this thing. You know, this came out, I think it was Final Fantasy 3. It was the same year, and that looks way better than this game does. And that game's an actual game. This is a fucking like book.
Yeah,
it's like
with the cover and everything, I was expecting like a cartoon design for all the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
It does not have that. It looks like weirdly shitty claymation that was made on a computer.
Yeah, even for the remaster thing. Yeah, it looks weird. I thought it was going to be like a fucking Knight's Tale or Knight's Quest or whatever it is. That one where you play as the knight and it's like an animated cartoon thing.
Oh, King's Quest?
Is that King's Quest? No.
Well, there's one called King's Quest. No, that one's
I can never remember the name to this fucking game, but it's I thought it was going to be like that because if you look at the cover, that's what it kind of That's what
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair. That's right. I fucking forgot that last week too, or the week before. One of those. It looks like it's going to be Dragon's Lair, but then it's not, and it's like, ah, man, Dragon's Lair was cool. You know, hey,
Yeah.
I was excited for something innovative with the art design and style, but I didn't really get that in this game at all. It just kind of looks really old, and the old one looks fucking old. So I don't know. I'm not too big on the design, but I don't think it looks... I mean, it doesn't look super, super terrible, I guess, for the time. I think I'd probably give the graphics and design, personally, I would say a 6. I don't think it looks super, super bad compared to some of those older games, but at the same time, I think they could have done a lot more with like some more pre-rendering and also... Just some differences. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have put a lot more work into the special edition, I feel, because I think that one came out after they had done the other games, but I'm not sure. It's the special edition, so I don't know. They could have done more. I think
it's the second to last thing they ever made.
I'm not gonna hate on it just because like they also allow you to see like the original games stuff, like you can switch between them, so that's cool. I think I'll also go with like a 5.
Okay. Dragon's Lair, by the way, came out in 1983. Oh man. So yeah, they definitely had the ability. Ah man, I definitely enjoyed that. I never got very far. But you're gonna give it a 3, huh? Or no, you said 5. You said 5, not a 3. All right, Craig. Sound and music. What do you think about this thing's soundtrack? We have voice acting for the remaster. I guess we could include that since that's the version we played. What do you think this thing sounds like?
It was okay. The voice acting was decent. And then... I don't know, the music was really repetitive in some spots. Like, it would just play the same song, which had, like, the same 4 notes over and over and over and over again, like, without a break. But some of them weren't too bad. I guess I'll go with the 7 for that one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's decent. The voice acting is pretty good. One of the funny things I found was the guy who trains you with the sword is voiced by the same guy who voices Volgin in Metal Gear Solid 3. And so it was funny hearing the guy that, like, grabs your package and tells you that he knows the Colonel better than anyone also train you in the art of sword fighting in this game. I was like, is that the same guy? That sounds exactly the same. And I Googled it, and I was like, oh, fuck, it is. That's crazy. How things change for these guys, but I don't mind the sounds. The music is fine. It's pretty much what you'd expect. Just kind of, I don't know, kind of piratey themed music, kind of seafaring shit. And I didn't really mind it. Yeah. All right, Craig. The final category, large. I think this is one of the most important categories. Second gameplay category in a lot of ways. Replayability. Craig, how likely are you to replay this game? Have you already? What do you think?
0.
A fucking 0?
There is literally no replay value whatsoever. Once you're done, it's done. Like, I can't possibly envision wanting to play this game again at all for any reason, including fucking the achievements that are attached to the special edition. There's literally no fucking point.
So you're not gonna get the platinum?
Like, if you wanted that shit, you could get that done in like one playthrough. It really requires no more time to be put in there. It is not worth playing again. It wasn't really even worth playing the first time. So, yeah, there's no value in playing it again.
Oh, man. All right, so I'm going to give replayability... I'm going to give it a 3. There is a funny alternate ending where you can blow up your ship with a cannon. There's one part where you're supposed to like use a cannon or a catapult to launch a rock at a banana tree to get more bananas, but you can sink your ship and get an alternate ending that way. I don't know. I could see wanting to speedrun it once you figure it out, because it's kind of like a survival horror game in that way, where once you know everything you need to do, you can beat the game really fast. And so I think it has some replay value when it comes to a speedrun. Unfortunately, I don't really think I want to play it again, and I only missed 2 trophies for the game. One of them is beating it in under 3 hours, and I think the other one's something like get both endings with one save file or some shit like that. And I'm not really into the idea of going back and getting those things. So there is value there, but to me, it's very low. And I don't foresee myself ever going back and playing this. And I'm kind of pissed off that I spent $15 fucking on these games, dude. I'm like, fuck. I was thinking maybe $10, like a good solid 10, and it was 15, and I was like, ooh, all right, I'll suck it up.
More than $20 for a computer game.
Yeah, it's like it feels wrong, and I don't really want to play it again ever. Maybe I'll play the second game, but even that, even number 2 after playing this one, I'm still hesitant. So. Replay value has got to stay low. That's funny that you give it a fucking 0, though.
There's no replay value. I can't give it anything. I feel no desire to play it again.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And I don't see the value in playing it a second time, even to speedrun it. I mean, I don't know who would want to. The story is mediocre. I mean, look at the scores we gave it. The story is mediocre. The gameplay is awful, especially for a console version. And then, like, the only thing that's even redeemable is the fact that it has voice acting. If there was no voice acting, it would be like one of our worst games ever. And it's just because it's, like, poor.
It's so old, I think, is one of the things. And this is something we haven't really run into yet, where a game is not good because it's just ancient.
Because there's no game?
Yeah, it's like a mediocre short story with
it's like one
frustration.
Of those, my mom plays these fucking games on Facebook where you like it's one of those things where you like find the missing item, so you got to click on the item that it's asking for. One of those type of games. Like it's the same level of engagement.
Honestly, who the fuck? Why would you play those games? What's the appeal?
I don't know why she does it. She just does. I mean, fucking Bejeweled is more involved than this game could ever be.
Yeah, Bejeweled is actually pretty fun, but
Bejeweled is fun. It's engaging. You do things.
Yeah, stuff
you don't
blows
in Monkey
up.
Island.
Yeah.
So I think you need to play Monkey Island 2 to see
Monkey
if it's
Island might as well be button press simulator.
Yeah, it's frustrating, for sure. I can't believe, and this thing is like, it's not a huge game, but it has a lot of like, it's a well received game, and like a lot of people really loved it from back in the day, and I can't think of anything other than the comedy in it to really pull it, to a place of
anything
legend.
can be your favorite game when it's the only option you have.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was 1980 or 1991, 1990, 1991 when these things were coming out. And they came out before we did, Like, there's not much going on back then. So maybe that's the thing. But Zelda Legend of Zelda is a much better game than this. Very different, but...
Well, The Legend of Zelda is also a game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just
This
it's just a
this
weird...
might as well be a fucking visual novel for all of the fucking like, elements of gameplay it has.
Yeah, it might as well be like an interactive, like choose your own adventure visual novel. Even though you don't really choose your own adventure, you just kind of choose what order you do that adventure in to some small degree. It's like a super lame Telltale game, which is already kind of lame. It's like the extra lame version of lame. You know? The fucking it's the scrot or it's a taint cam in porn on an already lame porno. Like that's what this game is. Like it's just fucking it's so hard to play, and there's really, like Craig said, there's not really anything to make you want to do it again. I mean, there's trophies, but there's no platinum. This is one of those.
And remember, there's only trophies and achievements for the version that we played, being the new edition. Like the original game,
yeah, those didn't exist. I
there's
mean,
nothing for that.
Those didn't exist 14 years ago, let alone 30 years ago. Yeah, it's fucking God, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how far games have come, and I think part of our bias is definitely just the point and click. There's something about it that's just not for me. I don't care to investigate every little thing. It's not fun to me. You know, it's not an enjoyable time. And that's basically what this game...
You're not even, like, solving a mystery or anything. Like, if it was basically, like, an interactive version of Clue where you had to, like, figure shit out and you had to notice certain things and then, you know, you solve a mystery in that way, then maybe this would be an okay way to go about it. But the way that this game is set up, it's basically, like, it's one of those it's one of those things that people do where they like take an item and trade it for something slightly better, and then like they keep doing that over and over and over again. That's basically what this game is.
Right, and like
just annoying.
You'd think that if they called the game Monkey Island, there would be at least a decent story with a decent secret, like at least some kind of payoff. And it sounds like the only payoff is
you think there'd be a monkey
never picking
in there,
it
right?
up.
There is a monkey. There's a 3-headed monkey, even.
I know.
Yeah, I just don't get them. I just don't understand, man. I don't understand why you would spend time, like, spend hard time, cold, hard earned time on this fucking thing.
Especially where you, like, go through the trouble of learning the skills of being a pirate, and then you literally don't use those things ever again. Like... You get a shovel to dig up the treasure, but you don't use the shovel ever again. You get a sword so that you can learn to be a sword master, and then you don't ever fight people again. It's like, why is it there?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was trying to love it, and I was like, oh, you know, there's a lot of fun dialogue with these characters in the very beginning, and then quickly it spiraled.
Devolved?
Yeah, it devolved very fast. And became what it is now.
It's a game that immediately kills optimism.
For everything in life?
For everything in life, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't feel optimistic to play it again. I didn't feel optimistic to go to bed on time. There was no optimism when I was playing this thing. It's only been the last 2 days, but man, they have been a dreary 2 days.
It was a fucking horrifying 5 hours.
Oh, fucking A, Craig. Oh, man. All right, so final thoughts. I don't think it's necessarily worth it. If you're going to buy it, though, I guess buy it on PC. I think the version that we played on PC would be really good. The remastered version. Just with the... Sorry. Tired as fuck here. Just with the versatility of a mouse and keyboard, I think that version would be really good on the PC. Because I like the art style enough, I guess. The voice acting's
really good. But that's not really what you mean.
I mean, better. Right? Is that what I mean?
Slightly better, but
Yeah, I guess I think the PC version would be much better. Well, yeah, no, I think it'd be much better in the gameplay category at the very least, because it would be less hectic with the buttons. But even then, I wouldn't buy this for more than like $5 or $10 for like all of the games.
I wouldn't buy this.
I wouldn't let someone give it to me. I wouldn't buy a Humble Bundle even if it was free.
I mean, if it's free, sure, I'll take it, but I'm not going to play it.
But it
I mean,
was
that's exactly
free,
how
and
I
we
played
did
it on
play
this,
it. Yeah.
on my Xbox. It was free, and I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And I only played it because we were gifted the game.
Wait, what?
So-
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we just pocketed the $10.
I'm not going to recommend it to anybody. Like, I don't recommend playing this game unless you really love point-and-click games. And then my only response is why.
Yeah, why are you listening to us if you really love point-and-click games? We've done one, and then the other one that's similar we just bash endlessly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's this and Gone Home, and I think we've spent about as much time bitching about Gone Home as we have talking about Conan Exiles on this fucking podcast, so...
I don't think quite as much.
We're no fans. We're no
but now that you
fans.
brought up Gone Home again, it's a piece of shit, and it's about lesbian witches.
Yeah. Is it better than this?
Slightly.
There you go.
Well, no, I can't say it is, actually.
You know what? You're probably right. This is more painful, or less painful than Gone Home, story-wise, at the very least.
Although Gone Home was done in a minute, and I was done with this in 5 hours.
That's true. That Gone Home definitely takes a lot longer, or a lot less time than this.
Would you-
And this
Craig,
isn't a
would
long
you-
game either. It's still short.
Would you rather play this or Bounty Hunter?
I'd rather play this.
Oh, I'd totally play Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter all the fucking way.
That's like a 20-hour fuck fest, though. It says you
I'd
played
rather
it for
play
6
a game
hours.
I can now complete in like 2 hours than I would rather play than fucking Bounty Hunter, which I still have trauma from.
Yeah, and you can't master it. It's not something that you get good at. It's just the game just decides whether you live or die.
Yeah, I mean, literally the only reason you'd want to play Bounty Hunter again is if you didn't have a copy that fucked you in the ass, and then also you had one of those controllers that made it so you could just endlessly fire lasers.
Yeah, the turbo controller. That would be pretty fucking sweet. Oh, man. All right, so quick recap on our scores for one of the first games we were ever gifted so enthusiastically. Sorry to whoever it is. Your tastes. I don't know what to say. Monkey Island. Story. 6 from Craig, 7 from me. Gameplay, 3 from Craig, 5 from me. Graphics and design, 5 from Craig, 6 for me. Sound and music, 7s across the board. Replayability, 0 for Craig. Fucking 3 for me. For a total of 21 out of 50 for Craig and 28 out of 50 from me. 49 out of 100. I can't wait till Craig yells at me and tells me that I fucking highballed this one because I'm an ass.
Dude, is this?
I mean, you did highball it, especially in the gameplay area and in the
Oh,
replay.
fuck.
Is this going to be the game that Reed throws off all like the? Oh, what is it? The Metacritic scoring again?
Oh, this is fucking destroying the Metacritic score. This is one of the worst ones we've had. Bounty Hunter, I think, was like a 40-point difference, or like 30 or 40. It was up there. But this one, according to Metacritic, guys. All right, let's take guesses. What do you think? What do you think this thing's gonna be?
I'd say Metacritic would do this one about 58, 56.
Okay.
I'm gonna highball. I'm gonna say 80.
All right. The Metacritic score for Secret of Monkey Island is Well, I guess it's game rankings, but that's the equivalent. 81%.
Oh, suck it. Oh.
It has multiple 5 stars, 94 and above ratings from multiple different sites and places.
Who's reviewing this game? Is it like people who enjoy video games or kids that are in like the primary children's hospital? That's their only choice, like only game they can play.
Yeah, it's the only like fucking crappy old game that'll run on their Windows XP PC.
Well, it sounds like it's just player reviews, right? Not any like.
It's magazine and article reviews from back in the day. So like it's seen through the lens of time, pretty much is what's happening. There's no like nude client score of like 40. Like what the fuck is this? Yeah. So. It was well received in the beginning. I mean, our version of the game has an 87 to an 88 for the Metacritic for the remaster, but the original was around an 80, 81, according to the overall game rankings aggregator. So it kind of ranges, I guess. But it ranges in the high areas. It goes from 80 and up for this bad boy. And man, if this is how King's Quest is, I know we got one of those for free a little while ago, and I don't want to touch it ever after this thing. Like, never. Don't want to do it.
You're the guy.
Which one?
I think we got a King's Quest for free, didn't we?
Dude, you guys are the designated point and click now.
We got King's Quest for free for PlayStation Plus like months ago, years ago.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if we were gifted it.
No, we weren't gifted it. It was given to us by a PlayStation, so we don't have to.
I think it was
play.
only like the first episode, and there's like 6.
Oh, yeah, I could see him doing that. But yeah, it's man, I can't do it. Can't fucking do it. I feel like if we would have played it back in the day, maybe we would have been okay with it. But even then, I don't know. I don't know if I could have done it. But yeah, that's it for The Secret of Monkey Island, guys. Thank you for hanging out for this review. Let us know what you think of The Secret of Monkey Island. If you enjoy it, tell us why. And what point-and-click games would you, and I say this with air quotes, recommend that we play to maybe change our opinion on the thing? Because so far, it's looking pretty fucking bad for this genre of game. I think, honestly, I would rather experience a graphic novel game thing. Because I've messed around with one of those in the past, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I didn't really say, oh, this is kind of cool to fucking Monkey Island, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, the only other point-and-click game I've ever played is Sam & Max Devil's Playhouse, and I did enjoy that, but I wasn't really thinking of it as a game, so...
Yeah, you're just thinking of it as a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much of that in this one either, so it's like, it's just the worst of both worlds, of all worlds. But yeah, that's it for our review. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Right now, the plan is a couple weeks from now, we'll do a Doom review. Doom Eternal. All of us have been playing that. And everyone but me actually has finished it at this point. And I think at least Zach and I believe Craig is going to join in on this, we're going to review Resident Evil 3 a few weeks after that. So guys, stay tuned. We got the reviews coming. We've got new games. I'm excited to play those. I'm excited for Final Fantasy VII. There's a lot of stuff coming out and not a lot of time. And it's exciting.
One of my questions about Resident Evil 7, so they're releasing it in chunks, I guess. So how is that review going to work?
They're releasing Resi 3 in chunks?
No, Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, Final Fantasy VII. We'll just review each part as a standalone.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, I hope they'll have like a some kind of an arc that ends within that storyline. I don't know how they're going to do it, but we'll see. I know it's probably going to be at least 2 parts. I would be surprised if it were any less than 3.
Yeah, I was seeing that in most of the rumors are 3. So
Yeah, I mean, the thing about those rumors, though, is they're largely based off the fact that it was 3 discs, and the third disc was essentially the final dungeon, and that's it.
oh, okay. Well, maybe they can.
So they could do it in 2, but I don't think that's what this project is about. It's not about doing it.
I think with the number of stuff that they're adding, they're probably gonna do it in 3.
Yeah, it's about...
Because they did say that they were thinking of it in terms of, like, the Lightning Returns trilogy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably going to do it in the 3 parts.
Yeah.
With the stuff that they've added extra.
Yeah, it's about... So you remember that scene in The Mummy when Imhotep comes out and one of the first things he does is siphon the life out of someone's body?
Yeah.
And siphon his moisture. That's what they're trying to do with your wallet and overall well-being, is just fucking wrench it out. Just fucking siphon it out of your body. Just fucking pull your life essence from you, and then they become you, oddly, but still them. So it's going to be at least 3. I think it's going to be at least 3. I'd be very surprised if it were less than 3. And they'll each be almost $400 for the collector's edition as well. So it's going to be...
time?
Yeah, each time. I'm fully prepared for that. I'm not like...
Fully prepared to pay $1,200 for 3 games?
Jesus, dude, am I gonna have to pay $60 a pop then? That's bullshit.
Well, see, now you make me sound like a fucking retard, but I guess yes, I'm fully prepared for that being a realistic situation where that's what they cost. I don't know if I'm fully prepared to pay it. Because, like, what are they going to do? I mean, they already have the Daytona, like, the motorcycle. Like, what's going to be the next big figurine? Are they going to have the weapons? Like, what? I don't know what else they're going to have. So
They
maybe
just
I
ship you a
won't be...
crate with
Sephiroth.
Swords Cloud. Or Cloud Sword.
Yeah, they could. Well, they have there's a Cloud...
Tifa's bust.
Yeah. A bust of Tifa's bust.
Oh, hell, I'd buy the collector's edition.
Yeah. So they have a Play Arts Cloud.
They still have the fucking airship, and they also have, like, a thing of Sephiroth they could do.
Oh, the airship would be cool, actually. That's a good one. I bet you they'll do the airship. I think you're right. Sephiroth one, I could see them doing that, too. I don't know what they would do in conjunction with it, though. Like,
They also made a new character that makes an appearance in this game, so... that guy could have a statue or something.
Yeah, you never know. I think that'd be a little weird. Maybe like one of the boss battles, though, like one of the like super creatures they could make into a statue. I don't know.
Oh, they could do a statue of Sephiroth and Cloud as well fighting.
Get some Rufus Shinra in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. And then you can press a button and it makes that like sound that Cloud's wheelchair makes in 7.
God.
Yeah. Just fucking screeching.
That was like a super annoying part of that game.
Yeah. You know what the other annoying part is? All of Midgar, which is all of this fucking game that's coming up. It's like, fuck, man, you made a whole game out of the
extra stuff to it. Woohoo!
Yeah, extra stuff. God, fuck, dude. I don't know. I feel like, and this is something that's been happening lately, I feel like all the things that I'm excited for are just crashing down around me. It's like Game of Thrones started it all. It's like once that let me down, everything since then, it's just a domino effect of like, well, I was excited about this game, but then it came out and it's not that great. So I don't know. Am I depressed? Am I ruined because one of my favorite things ever that spanned almost a decade didn't end in a great way, in my opinion? Or like, what's happening to me? I
Fucking
don't.
Schweiss just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, all around me are familiar faces.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like, even the Resident Evil 3, I'm having fun with that action, that arcade game thing, the Resistance. But I'm like, it's not Resident Evil Outbreak. And I said that, and I was like, well, that's just another piece of evidence that like nothing satisfies me anymore. I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's just the hardcore awesome games are just making me immune to real life, to the truth, the reality of the situation at hand here. I don't know. It's every fucking time. And 7, I think 7 might do the same thing. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's great, but not there, man. I'm not there. I don't have the same level of hype that I used to have. I'm not capable of it anymore. It's weird.
Game of Thrones
it's
just
super
broke your
weird.
heart, and they never gave it back.
Yeah. I need a good thing to bring it back. I need something to like hype the fuck out of me, and then for it to like pleasure me uniquely and completely, and then I'll be back to normal, I think.
So when God of War 2 comes out,
Yeah, when God of War 2 is released, my faith in humanity and entertainment as an art form will be restored, and I can then enjoy things again. But until that time, it's all just fucking disappointment for me, including this fucking Monkey Island thing, because it's like a legend, you know? It's like a legendary game, and I play it, and I'm like, fuck, I hate it, man. I fucking hate it. It's just, fuck. There's nothing there. But yeah, so we got some stuff coming up for you guys. Join me on Resistance, though. It's not Resident Evil Outbreak, but you know what? It plays a hell of a lot better online. That's for fucking sure. So join me in that. I'm trying to get a full squad together. I'd like to do some custom matches with us and some of the listeners. I think it'd be a lot of fun. That was like such a good time with Dead by Daylight, and I really want to like duplicate that with this new game.
How many people make a full squad?
5. So it's 4 survivors and 1 mastermind. So I want to get back to the
someone else.
Yeah, I guess it is the same, huh? It is the same. I want to get back to those tears of joy of just like
Tears
clutch
for queers.
dodging from Craig. Like in this one, there's not really places to hide as much, but you can
Is it
like
more like you set up traps and stuff, or
you can control zombies and things as well, so you could take over. And whenever you summon like a big boss baddie, you play as them. So you're setting up the stage, but then you can also get in there and take over the zombies, a bunch of the creatures and stuff, and deal damage yourself. So it's pretty cool. It's not as like mano-y-mano as the fucking Dead by Daylight, but I've had fun with it. So I hope you guys get on. Did you ever find a show copy of that thing, Craig?
not yet? No.
Fuck, really? It's fucking still sold out? God
I don't
damn.
know if
Yeah.
it's. I don't know if it's
I
sold
don't know
out
if
or
we can
if.
find a physical
or
copy,
if-
honestly,
or
unless
if-
we order one on Amazon.
Yeah, the problem is like when I went to Walmart yesterday, Friday morning. The guy was like, "Well, we haven't unloaded our trucks yet," and then I was talking to a buddy about it, and it sounds like what they're doing is like they're unloading all the essential shit, which is selling out faster, and they're just leaving everything else to whenever they can get to it. Is what it sounds like.
Whoa! This is essential, man. We're
No,
trapped in our houses,
bro, I
We're,
agree. I'm with you,
We're
bro.
being
I'm with you.
quarantined inside, and they're telling us entertainment's not essential. Bullshit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Bullshit, Walmart.
Because I wanted
You're
a
not
physical
essential.
copy of this, but I had to get the fucking digital because I wanted to play. So
Yeah. I almost bought it digitally as well, so that I could give Cameron a copy, and then I could play it with Jake. But then I was like, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. That's a stupid idea.
I don't know. Maybe
Like-
you should.
$120 just to play this fucking multiplayer game. Who knows how much we'll like it in the end. I am still tempted, though. I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, man, Jake could download it. He would play. And we haven't had a multiplayer Resi for a while, so, I'm having fun. So
What
Yeah.
was the last multiplayer Resi, if you're not counting co-op?
I think Revelations 2 is probably the last one. It is co-op-y, but it's like mission based. You like take on little missions, and it's essentially the same as the story. Honestly, you're going through the same areas, but there's no storyline. So I guess that would be the last one technically. And that one's fun. I bought those as well because Kent was getting me to play those with him. But I'm liking this new one a little bit more. It's got a lot more... maybe not a lot more to it, but I like the style of it because it reminds me of some of those older games. The Outbreak, the original Conan Exiles, the Obsession. So this one's really tickling me in the same spots. But
Gross.
Tickle the
yeah, it is kind of nasty. But all right, so thank you guys once again for hanging out with us. Stay tuned for some reviews of some newer games, sub 30 years old, by a lot, by 30, and I'm excited to hear that. And maybe you guys will do some Animal Crossing too. Does that have a campaign? I mean,
It kind of does. I guess once you get KK Slider to perform a thing on your island, you get credits. So basically you have to pay off your house and fill out the museum to get that to happen or something.
Yeah, you want to get a populated island.
It was. But there's basically a main mission type deal.
yeah, like a soft ending.
But it's also like an endless gameplay thing, so it's like
yeah. All right, well, if you guys finish that, if you get that to happen and draw those credits, you could review that too. It sounds like you guys are having a good time. I mean, that might sell me on it. Sitting in on hearing you guys talking.
Right now is a bad time to play because it's a fucking Easter event and everything is fucking eggs. No matter how many fish you catch, no matter what you fucking
all the
dig
way
up,
down.
it's always eggs. It's always that fucking Easter bunny, and it's bullshit. This Easter event
Dude,
sucks.
that fucking Easter bunny gives me like Frank the Rabbit vibes from Donnie Darko.
Yeah, dude, he just stares
sits
into
there
the
and
void,
hops
bro.
and stares at you, and how does it fucking getting eggs inside rocks? Like, what is it doing to fucking put eggs inside of a rock?
No, agreed.
And
'cause
then
you,
it's like in the water, they're in the fucking trees. You pull them out of the
Cam,
fucking
you
ground.
gotta
There's
get all
fucking
the egg
eggs
types so you can make all
everywhere.
the different
No,
things,
because the
so you
Easter,
can
the
get
Easter shit is
the
ugly in my
reward.
opinion.
I don't give a shit about the award. I'm not building any of that stupid, shitty furniture with the eggs. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Fuck all
Yeah,
the
that's how I
eggs.
feel about Disneyland. I've only ever gone when it's Halloween, and it's like, it's always fucking Jack Skellington all over this fucking place.
That's
I'm
how
like,
I
I
feel
just
about
want to...
Disneyland. Fuck the eggs.
Yeah, fuck eggs. Roger Rabbit, go fuck yourself. Yeah, no, it's a similar thing, though. It's like you get locked into these events, and you're like, I just kind of want to play the real game without all this bullshit, because I don't have time to play it all the time, but I happen to right now, and we're playing a fucking Christmas map. It's like, fuck off, man. It's like that Call of Duty Christmas map, except for they had it all the fucking time. Instead, it's like, why are we in Christmas? It's fucking May. There's fucking presents. I explode into presents. Like, Jesus, just stop. Just give me the fucking crash map at night. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It could just be dark. My God. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. They invade with their holidays and their fucking themes. God damn it. That's the problem with these fucking games that are live and like always online is they do this shit. They just fuck with you. Give you you'll take the eggs, Cameron. You'll take them and you'll love them. And that's the end of it.
Fuck those
You'll
eggs.
take it and you'll like it.
How many eggs do you think you could put into your pussy, Cameron? That's the
I
question.
just leave them scattered around the island. No, so I was thinking it'd be funny to do an Easter egg hunt event after this fucking Easter egg hunt event. So I'll just collect a whole bunch of fucking eggs and then get a whole bunch of my friends to come to my island and say, hey, buried somewhere on the island is, a bag of 99,000 bells, the currency in the game. And every other spot on the island is just going to be a fucking egg that I buried. And
You're
so
such a
they just have
bastard.
to fucking go through my island and just dig up all the fucking eggs that I buried there
Oh, you're an ass.
just to find the one bag of bells.
Nice. Joe said, when did all the KKK slider, the Southern Burger franchise? That's what I was thinking too. When did,
I think there's one too many K's there.
one too many K's there, pal. Sorry. When did all the Nude Clan boys go gay? And what is this Animal Crossing bullshit? I don't know, man. I still haven't played it. I've only looked and judged, but I don't know if Cameron was talking shit on it. I know Zach was.
I was.
Zach was.
Cameron, shut up. You were too. When we were talking about it, you
I
were
just thought
talking
it
so
looked
much
boring,
shit, so
but
you
it's
fucking throw me
not
into the
that
bus.
boring. It's just Conan without the violence.
Yeah, Zach was like, "Oh, this is gay." It's like his was like more vicious, and then Cameron just was like, I don't know." And then suddenly everyone has it, and that's why I was like, "What? What is this shit? You guys just like buy this like without saying anything?"
Bro, it's like you
I
ever
mean,
see, it's like
yeah,
the
we're
horror
not
movie.
absorbed.
It's like the Thing, bro. Like you don't know who's gonna get infected next, and you don't know who's who anymore.
Oh God, it's only a matter of time. That's why we quarantine now. That's why we're in separate recording booths. It's like I can't afford another full price game, please.
Dude, that's my.
Just leave me alone.
And
I-
yet you're willing to buy Resi 3 2 more times?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy that one 4 times, but I will not buy another full price game. That's just buying the same game again. That's different. Ah, fuck. Yeah, so I don't know.
I did buy you fucking Battlefield 5.
Yeah, that's true. There's always that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us, guys. Give us your money. Patreon.com. Search Nude Clan. I know you're not working right now, but you know what? We could also not be working, and that would really help. This is the time. I've been seeing this online a lot. It's a good point. This is the time when all of us creators, all of us guys that are putting in countless hours to give you content, this is when we are there for you the most. So you could be there for us just a little bit more. And if you want to, and if you can, obviously. And if not, then you know what? This shit's going to fucking end eventually, and then you could do it then. But, yeah, that's a good place to support us. You can go to our Twitch streams, twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. You can follow us there. You can sub to us there. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. You can give it to anybody. You can give it to me. You can give it to Ultima Final Fantasy. Pretty much anybody out there. You can just hand that thing over to, and it helps a creator out. And it's included in your Prime thing, so you should totally just do it, no matter who you send it to. Whether it's either of those two sources, feel free. And also, all of this and so much more can be found on our amazing website, audibletrial.com/NudeClan. Truly incredible site. Very proud of what we've done this time. It's very simple. Excellently designed website. And you get a free book. Listen to it at work. Listen to it on the drive to work. Listen to it while you do the dishes. There's so much downtime in our lives. Why not fill it with a good book? And yeah, that's it, I guess. Keep listening. Check out our other shows. Ultima Final Fantasy. Getting Fat with Caleb and Joe is an old one. There's a lot of fun stuff on there. We've got Puff Puff Hour, Caleb Craig's old show for Dragon Quest. And for Future Gets More, A Song of Schweiss and Johnson. And the Godzilla podcast. So if you can't quite get enough of us here, go get us there. And we'll see you guys again next week.
Enjoy the nude.
Time to get good.
Rip and tear.
Live always in the nude.
Yeah!